This is awesome. We can't wait to get on to the main event. But before we do that, we want to provide a little bit of background information about what a comprehensive plan is, how it's going to be done, why folks should care about it, opportunities to participate, and then in about 15 minutes we will break up into small groups and we'll give the charge for those groups to talk about the present and the future of Lafayette. So first, what is a comprehensive plan? What is this plan idea? Well, you can think of it in three ways. First, the plan is a reflection of the aspirations and the values of the community in the form of a vision statement. The vision statement is simply the destination, where we want to be as a community in 20 years. But to be more than platitudes, it also has to be about action and implementation. So a key component of the plan will be an action strategy that assigns responsibilities and timeframes and resources, so at the end of the day, when we adopt the plan, we have some accountability that we're going to follow it. And as a guide to following it over the next 20 years, also think of it as a policy framework, a checklist for this and future administrations to use to make sure that every decision that's made about spending money or about regulatory issues keeps us on the path to achieve the vision. But it's also a way of looking comprehensively at the functionality and the livability of a community. How does land use affect mobility? How does mobility affect economic development? How does our development pattern reflect on the culture of this place and who we choose to be as a community? So it's a comprehensive looking at how the pieces fit together. Why? I think the mayor touched on why we're doing this, but let me just read a couple of points here. First, it's about setting priorities. There won't be enough money to do everything on our wish list. So it's about identifying the shared priorities of the community. It's about looking at what is happening to us as a community over the past several years. What trends do we see in place? But it's also about looking ahead into the future and imagining what Lafayette will be like if we don't do anything different. And looking at that picture of what we're likely to become is the motivation to change course. I'm now going to turn it over to Sylvia Vargas to talk to us about the process of preparing the plan.
Good morning. I'm just going to talk a little bit about why WRT is here. The parish, Lafayette Consolidated Government, decided that in order to do this, because it's such a big effort, we're trying to get everybody in the community involved, they needed assistance from professionals who do this and who do it all over the country. And that's what we do. So we brought together a team of experts in different areas. Some of our experts are actually local. They know this community. You probably know them. And we are very happy and proud to have them on our team. Sides and Associates and Neil Schaefer, they're both helping us. And like I said, their sides so far, in particular because of the public engagement piece, has been invaluable. Now, our role is not to tell you what your vision should be. It's not to tell you how you should grow or what your plan is going to be. You are going to do that. That's our process. It's community-based, it's public input-driven. We're here to help you facilitate that process, to help you as a community articulate those shared values, those shared visions. You're going to start today with the exercise that we're going to be conducting in a few minutes. And John talked a little bit when he discussed the 3 points about why we're doing this. Some of the pieces of the plan that include preparing a community assessment to tell us where we are today as a community, and that will serve as a baseline for measuring our progress as we move forward in implementing the plan after it is adopted. We will create the vision, obviously, with you guys. We will create a trend scenario that will tell us where we will be in 20 years if we continue along the path that we are today, if we don't do anything different, and provide alternatives for you to choose which ones or pieces of those alternatives better fit the vision that you're going to put together. We're also going to develop the implementation strategy based on those goals that you set and be available to LCG for about a year after the plan is adopted to help with the implementation. Now, this complicated diagram is just a way to show you the two parallel tracks that this plan process is going to follow. One is the aspirational side, which is the left side that we're starting with the meetings this week, which is completely driven by the public input that we will receive from all of you. And throughout the process, with the help of a citizen advisory committee that has been appointed to be the voice of the community in the process on a regular basis. On the other side, we have the analyses that come from the people that work in the community as planners in agencies that do work in the community in a variety of areas, and all that work will serve as an input for us to put together the picture of where we are today and where the trends are taking us. And we talked a little bit about this already. It's our process. It's going to last about 18 months, and it's in a variety of phases that you can see here. I'm not going to go through every one of those, but the most important thing about it is that all those yellow boxes that you see on this diagram are the points in the process where we're going to keep coming back after every step to ask you, did we get it right? So you will have plenty of opportunities to provide public input, not only through the public forums, but also through a variety of other tools for public engagement that we're going to be using, ranging from the traditional media, print, news, radio, TV, newsletters, the Citizen Advisory Committee, the public forums and open houses that we're going to have, as well as a variety of new techniques, including social media reliance, media relations, engaging youth. This morning I was very excited to be able to attend a meeting of the Youth Council. They went through the exercise, they came up with some really amazing ideas, and there was so much energy in that room that I got very inspired and a little jealous, frankly, of that kind of energy. We're also going to have something that we hope, after you go through this exercise today, you'll be inspired to do as well, which is a meeting in a box. We're going to have a little kit that you can use to take to your clubs and groups that you're involved with in your community, your families, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, and run pretty much the same exercise with them and turn in your results to us so that we can add them. We know a lot of people don't come to these meetings, and so we want to make it easier for that outreach to happen in the comfort of someone's living room, someone's office, with someone that they know. If you want to do that, by the way, you can either come to us or one of the staff from LCG and talk to us about it. The kits from the meeting in a box are going to be available starting this week, and we will receive results for about the next 3 weeks. Anyway, I don't think I have to tell you why you should participate. Obviously, the fact that you're here shows that you are interested and you care. But of course, for others, we would like you to be the voice to spread the word about why. Because it is your community, it has to be your plan. And the only way that can happen is if you add your voice to it. And you need to be at the table in order for that voice to be heard. I've talked a lot about the tools that we have. If you haven't signed up already to get our email blasts, please do so. We will be updating on a regular basis. We have a website that is up. It's still under construction in some areas, but it's there. Please, when you hear about these public events, help us to spread the word. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can come to the Citizen Advisory Committee meetings. Those are public. They're going to be occurring on a regular schedule, which LCG can provide you. And look for us and, like I said, volunteer to be the host of a meeting in a box. And with that, I'm going to turn it over back to John.
Before we get on with our activity, let's talk for a moment about the purpose. Why are we here? What do we expect to get out of today's event? First, we want to engage you in talking about what you like and don't like about Lafayette today, and also to get your aspirations for Lafayette in the future. But we also, one of our ulterior motives is to get you in the habit of talking to each other about civic issues, and also to get you to talk up this importance of this process with your neighbors so that they can participate in these events as they unfold. But it's also, one of our purposes is to collect all of the thousands of ideas that we will be hearing and writing down at all of these community forums, and use that as the raw material to write a vision statement, to identify common themes, things on which almost everybody agrees, and that will be the vision statement saying this is the kind of community we want to be in the future, and that then becomes the destination for the comprehensive plan and our motivation and our target for everything we do subsequently to put together the plan. As I said, we're going to be tabulating all of the ideas in a reasonably scientific fashion, so we have transparency and you can see your ideas posted. Let's shift gears now and talk about the activities. What we found is a lot of folks are kind of intimidated about standing up in front of a crowd like this. And so we're going to form into smaller discussion groups of 8 to 12 people in just a minute. And we're going to address 4 topics, 4 questions that your facilitator and your scribe will help guide you on. We're going to spend about 15 to 20 minutes, hopefully, answering or addressing each of the questions. And the way we want to do that is to have everybody in round-robin fashion list an idea. The scribe will be writing it on flip charts and go around the circle several times. At the end of about 15 minutes, you'll have a sheet or 2 filled, and then we're going to prioritize. And the way we do that is to start and have the group scan the list and combine like ideas. If somebody says they love the recreational opportunities and somebody else says they love the park system, those 2 might be combined. And then you'll be asked to scan the refined list and identify on that list the most important ideas to you, the 3 most important ideas to you, and then the facilitators will record the priorities by simply asking, how many have this idea on your short list of ideas? Raise your hands and they'll write down the number and move on to the next topic. So here are the first 2 questions dealing with Lafayette today. What do you love about the place that you're not willing to give up in the name of growth and change and progress? Key assets, strengths of the community we've got to hang on to. The flip side are what conditions would you characterize as problems or deficiencies that we have to pay attention to now? So strengths and weaknesses today. The second 2 questions deal with how we imagine Lafayette could be in the future. The first are what you might consider threats. What are the dark clouds on the horizon, whether they be internal factors or external factors that could degrade our quality of life, our economy in the future if we're not paying attention? And the fourth question has to do with opportunities. If we do our jobs right in this plan, what seeds can we plant that will bear fruit in 20 years, transformative ideas that can make this a much better place? So those are the 4 questions. Some fairly obvious ground rules. I mentioned the 1 idea per round session. Be concise to get everybody's an equal opportunity, and to also assist with the describing. Try to limit your speeches. Avoid repetition. If you run out of ideas, you can say pass or ditto. Also be respectful of everyone's ideas. Don't poo-poo each other's ideas. And we expect that acoustics will be an issue with so many people, so try to avoid sidebar conversations, turn off cell phones. I think that about does it. I mentioned spread the word regarding the upcoming several activities through the end of the week. And also, the last thing you do before you leave, please fill out the evaluation form. We want to make sure